The First Punic War, I could turn the audio a little bit. Okay.
By NordVPN. Click the link below and get an exclusive
Georgia won 3 times. That's actually pretty cool.
Huge discount and a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Oh, remembers no spoilers. Again, I don't want any spoilers. I know a little bit about the war though. I know a little bit, so you guys can't spoil too much because again, I know like they lost like a fucking 3 fleets or something. Because again, I am a Romaboo, a massive fucking Romaboo. Like if I could go back and react to all the what is called like the Overhardy videos, I would.
Producing our new, glorious, breathtaking bucket plushie, limited quantity.
Should I buy that? Chat, should I buy that? Is it worth it to buy it? Because I might actually buy that.
Some Punic War character pins.
I don't care the character pins though.
Or I'll marry your mother. It's
Damn.
your choice.
I gotta say, it would actually be lit if you married my mother, because then I could like fucking whip him into making more fucking videos. Too expensive? Oh man, it isn't.
Oh, Marcellus, you sure have a lot of dignitas. Okay.
I got something amount of problems, but Rome ain't one.
Hey, Dad. Hi, son. Just reading the newspaper.
You always get the fucking humor right. You always get that humor right.
Say Rome is the greatest civilization in the world.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
It is. Well, I was just wondering, what makes us so great? How did we come to be? Wow, my son, boy, let me take you on a journey.
A lot of barbarity, a lot of killing, and a lot of fucking slaughtering.
The story of Rome.
Warning tales contained within the sideshow present may be partial or entirely mythical.
Begins with these beautiful baby boys going to town on some she-wolf mommy makers. That's gross. You're gross. Sorry, son.
I still love the fact like those statues of like these like them sucking on the mummy milkers, right, on the titties. I've seen them so many places in Rome when I was there. It's fucking crazy. They know the Georgians are the
love you. They're called Romulus and Remus, and when they grew up in 753 BC, they founded Rome. But there was just one problem. They couldn't agree on which of them should be the king. Oh, that's true.
And then one of them killed the other one, right?
Peacefully, right? Oh, heavens no. Romulus caved Remus's skull in with a shovel. Here's a picture. Our first king committed fratricide? I know.
I don't remember that's how the story goes, though. I think it was different, right? Wasn't it like the one supporter group and then the other one? Like, what the fuck?
Look at his face. When's the part where we become the greatest civilization, Dad? Well,
they were already that.
At first, Rome was full of men. Oh, yeah. I'm talking like a real sausage party. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. So we invited some neighboring...
Like, every single, like, school that has anything to do with technology, it's just a sausage party. And then there's one girl or 2 girls, and they're both ugly. That's, like, every single, like... That's how, like, sausage parties are formed, like, in reality now.
The city's over for a big feast.
And want it to be cool?
We literally kidnapped all of their women. Here's a picture.
Pretty based, Rome. Pretty fucking based.
This is messed up. You're messed up. Ugh. Sorry. I'll be a better father. I promise. So then, finally, after centuries of monarchy, those tyrannical kings started getting a little too big for their britches. So we overthrew the kings and established Rome as a republic.
Damn straight, the Senate.
Oh, heavens no. That's when the killing surged, baby. We went wild and conquered the Latin.
Yeah, Samnites. Yeah.
The Etruscans. Woo!
And the Greeks in the south. Yeah.
Rome seems pretty barbaric. You're barbaric! Oh, I forgot to tell you about the time a prophet told Saturn his son would one day overthrow him.
Don't show the picture. I know what picture that is.
His own son, seconds after he was born. I don't want to see a picture. Here's a picture. Dad!
As far as if I remember, right, the guy who actually drew that never intended this picture to be shown to the public. Like, the guy was going through, like, a manic episode at the end of his life, and this was, like, the last picture he painted. It was supposed to be in, like, his vault forever, but because he died, they looked through his stuff and found that painting. I don't remember that's exactly how the story goes, but that's kind of... I remember something about that.
Look at that! That's messed up, man. Are we
Bare
really this
motherfucking
uncivilized? Hey! If we were so uncivilized, would we use communal toilets where we all fart and poo together in one big stinky, steamy, dirty toilet room? Yeah, Dad, we would.
Let's watch this for my sake. Let's watch the history of Georgia, the country.
These guys just used it. What's wrong with your son, bro?
You do that after if you want.
This is so weird. You're weird.
If there's time.
Sorry, you're not weird. I'm sure you're probably fine.
Oh shit, my face is over. Nah, I got shit on the face. I'll change where my face is just a little bit. I'll go down. Rome seems pretty cool. Yeah, I want to like Rome. Whoa. Give it a second. That's so, look how well that is made. How much effort, like the sky, like the text here, man, how all of them look together. Like, oh my god, he's used so much fucking time, man. Frizo get no viewers, but Frizo react. People go, brr. Actually true, actually true. Nobody wants to watch me play game. Everybody just wants to watch me react.
A nation that, since its foundation, had been stabbing necks all the way down the Italian peninsula. But
I would love to, if we ever, like, I know I'm taking this idea from Tommy K, but, like, if we focused on one country from, like, start to end and played, like, through their wars and stuff, all of that, I think, because we have a lot of Georgian viewers, we could do that as Georgia or something, like, in a lot of video games, like Total War games. I think that could be actually a really cool idea.
But this isn't the famous Roman Empire that ruled the known world. Not yet, anyway. This is a relatively juvenile Rome, still just a regional power. In 264 BC, the big daddy of the Western Mediterranean was Carthage. Let's rewind a bit. Carthage was founded in 814 BC when some Phoenicians had a mega surplus of goods and decided to export those goods across the Mediterranean.
And they had massive amounts of colonies.
Trading power in the region.
Because I had about this in school.
Growing trade network, the Phoenicians established a number of colonies, one of which was Carthage. Therefore, Carthage began its life as a Phoenician trade colony, and the Carthaginians were actually Phoenicians. Or if you're
Punics, Punics, because that's how it was said in Rome. Why he sometimes gotta make the screen so what? Yeah, man, I literally become a fucking ghost.
The name of the video. Over the centuries, Carthage gradually expanded and became the region's base of power. Just like
I gotta say though,
speaking Roman, they were
like this little meme here. Like again, like this would usually like take a lot of people aback. I'm guessing that's why I put it in. But because I'm such a massive Roma boo, I already know this.
Over the centuries, Carthage gradually expanded and became the region's base of power.
I'm gonna go blind.
Just
yeah,
like
but
Rome,
same.
Carthage was a semi-democratic republic with its own senate and judiciary. But there were also some pretty hefty differences between the two. While Rome was big into farming and stabbing people in the neck,
they were into trade and fishery and stuff.
On the other hand, just like their
mercenaries, loads of mercenaries,
had built their power through trade and
Is this Obama? What the fuck?
They went here and there, selling ivory tusks, gold, and slaves. And as
2 for 1 prize, damn.
Were rolling in it. Whenever they weren't busy swimming around in their copious hoards of money, in their spare time, they also possibly enjoyed sacrificing their children to Baal, the god of... Let me just check my notes. Ah, yes. Plant fertility.
Is that true? Like, I never knew they worshipped like such a dude. The fuck? That was that man was Barack Obama. What the fuck?
These figs aren't looking too hot.
Maybe right. Maybe Barack Obama is an eternal eternal lich that lives through the ages. And at this point, he was in Carthage, living it up with the Carthaginians trading. Maybe that is true. Maybe that is true.
If I throw my son into a burning pit of fire, they'll grow. Have you tried watering them, Dad?
Pancakes. Oh, shit! Thank you for following Chris on your third fucking account, man. You're fucking wild, bro.
No, we'll try that second. As a result of all their trading, Carthage had emerged as one of the Mediterranean's superpowers. But wait, they said. Rome? What the heck is that? Well, I know it's a pretty obscure little country that you've probably never heard of. But this spunky young nation was about to upset the entire region's balance
Rome was
of power.
wild, man.
Initially, the two sides enjoyed relatively friendly relations, and had even signed a couple treaties. But it was a relationship that was practically destined to turn sour.
Shit.
See, Rome had a thing where they liked to aggressively expand their boundaries, often viewing such expansion as a defensive act. Kinda like when you...
Yeah, I've also heard that. Again, there's also that it's a common quote when you talk about Rome is that Rome has never declared a war in their life. It's always defensive war, man, and I fucking love that. I think it's one of the greatest fucking things you could do ever. Just like declare war, but declare it a defensive war, and then when people ask like what happened, oh yeah, they declare war on me, but you completely fucking declare war on them. I fucking love it, man. Hey, what up, gamers? What the fuck, man? Rome was my son. Excuse me,
kill your neighbor, because you knew eventually they would have tried to kill you.
If I could call my son Rome, I probably would.
Carthage was extremely protected.
It's true, actually fucking true.
So if you put a very strategically important island between them, well, 2 plus
something
2
about like some Mamertines or something.
Tensions rose, and the two sides began viewing each other with increasing disdain. The hard-working
now play
Romans
this part in
looked across the water
Total
at the
War.
money-hungry Carthaginians and said, "Look at those dishonest crooks. Bet they've never done an honest day's work in their lives." And the Carthaginians looked back and said, "Look at those simple-minded brutes. Bet they've never sacrificed a baby in their lives." Yeah. While war between the two superpowers seemed inevitable,
That's such a good joke. He's so good with the fucking humor, man. I fucking love it, man. I fucking love it. Oh
The
my
event
god.
that finally triggered it was a little unexpected. The whole thing began with a few simple mad lads on a wild night out. These mad lads are called the Mamertines. They were Italian
Got it right.
mercenaries
I knew it. I
employed by
got
the
it right.
tyrant of Syracuse. Here. But when he died, his successor said, "Sorry, fellas, we don't need any big burly men with sharp..."
Damn straight, man. When you when your trees don't grow, just throw your firstborn child into the fire, man. And if that doesn't grow, just throw more in. At some point, like, the tree will gonna grow, the tree will gonna be fine, man. Just keep throwing children. And your neighbor's kids, fuck it, why not? But they don't kill children, goes and burns their children. Yeah, man, you know?
Sticks anymore. You can all go home.
Oh.
The Mamertines, as it turned out, didn't want to go home. So instead, they went to the nearby town of Messana and said, "Hey man, we are but poor little buff boys without a home. May we come in?" Aw, poor fellas. Sure thing.
They live so weird.
Just
Like, look
so
how
long as you
he
promise
so
not
weird,
to
man.
massacre all of us. We
Oh
promise.
my god.
The Mamertines then massacred all
Just a little trolling, guys, you know, just a little
just the men,
trolling, right?
And they stole their homes and families. Ha! This is my house now.
Best
This is
dad
my best
ever
dad ever
oh,
mug
shit.
now. And you guys are my new family. Son, wanna go play
He's playing
catch
Among
with
Us?
your Papa? You're not my real dad!
My Chemical Romance. Again, I was too young to know anything about them.
Teenagers. Am I right, dear? You're not my real husband. Ugh, I'm so trapped in this marriage. Then get out! No. Messana was now controlled by the Mamertines, and they began raiding up and down the Syracuse coastline. When the
How
new
many
ruler
were
of
they,
Syracuse
though?
saw this, he wasn't happy. The Syracusans began fighting back, and in response, the
Dummy
Mamertines
viewers
said,
playing Among
"Oh,
Us."
crap, they're fighting back? What do we do? Quick, we'll convince the Carthaginians to come and save us. Oh no! We're in trouble. And we need a big, strong empire to come and rub our bellies. Why are you saying it like that?
Guys, I need some money, and I need some strong men to subscribe and give me some if you catch my I love it. I fucking
If
love
I
it.
was a
man.
big, strong empire, I think I'd like to be seduced. See? It's working! The Carthaginians had long dreamed of controlling all of Sicily. They had been fighting Syracuse and their Greek influence on the island for centuries. And now, here was a great opportunity to get one over on them. So Carthage promptly answered them.
Ah, man. You guys are fucking mongoloids, man. Just making me edit more later. God damn. That's what you get for seducing me. Ay. At least I know it worked though, right? It is my daddy. Excuse me. Scott. Our daddy. It's communism, man. It's communism.
The Mamertines cried for help and sent a force to garrison Messana. As it turned out, however, some within the ranks of the Mamertines weren't too happy with the occupying Carthaginians, and they sent out a second cry for help to Rome. When it reached the Roman Senate,
Yeah, this I already
they
know.
were a little more hesitant.
Dear Rome, please come rub our bellies. Love the Mamertines.
Going
You
to
know,
help the
how can you
Mamertines
say
ran
no to
the
that,
risk of
man? How can you
triggering
say
an
no to
all-out
that?
war with Carthage, and they had only just finished conquering the Italian peninsula, so they were kind of tired. Plus,
Yeah,
the
but it's Rome.
Mamertines
They'll
were
just
all
throw
the
like
way
a million
across
men
the
at you
water.
and then
They'd
win
never
anyway.
made a leap like that
War of
before.
attrition.
So you would assume that to avoid any conflict with Carthage, the exhausted Romans would probably sit this one out. But you
would never say no to
would
that.
assume wrong. Rome just couldn't resist a good chance for war. Why? Well, there's something you gotta understand about Rome. See, as a republic, they were held.
Wasn't there also like some like the guy Pyrrhus, right? You know, the guy with like elephants where the Pyrrhic victory is named after. I remember one of the things he had a lot of issues with was that when he came to put his army over from Greece into Rome and then like destroyed like I think he destroyed like 4 Roman armies. And then they had like a ceasefire, and then he went to Rome and looked at like how the Romans kept training more and more men, and essentially it meant that Pyrrhus could essentially not keep the war going because he was just completely out fucking manned. Because it didn't matter how many men Rome lost, they just kept throwing more at him. So it was just like it was a massive war of attrition, which the Romans obviously win because they're just so fucking amazing at doing like attrition warfare. What is there to drink? I have 500 liters of wine made from home with my own hands. The fuck?
Bent on
Send
preventing
some to
any
Denmark,
one
man.
man
Send some to
from
Denmark.
ever gaining too much power. And so rather than having one leader,
Not a
Rome
consul.
had
Two
two
consuls, yes.
called consuls who shared power. These consuls could also only serve for 1 year at a time before new consuls were elected. These measures to limit the powers of the
Let's have a
consuls
drink. Excuse
were
me,
noble,
that's
but
700
had an
points.
interesting side effect. The consuls knew they had just 1 year to try and gain as much
Send
glory
some
and
to Latvia.
prestige as possible, something that was very important in Roman society.
Dignitas,
And the
yep.
best way of gaining glory and prestige? Military victory, of course. The Roman political system basically ended up encouraging these consuls to go out and be as aggressive as your Italian grandmother when you don't eat all the spaghetti.
Unfortunately, I don't have an Italian grandmother.
Consuls convinced the people to vote in favor
Both of mine
of
are
going
very
to
Danish.
Messana. And in they went. Upon the arrival of the Romans, the Carthaginians in the city, amongst the confusion...
I'm just kind of like, how did the Romans get over there, though? Because the Romans, they barely even had a navy at this point. Because I'm pretty sure that's like a massive like clutch in all this war. Like I'm pretty sure they don't have a navy. Come to Georgia and invite you with me for.
were forced to leave. Now, in contrast to Roman aggression, the Carthaginian military had a slightly different philosophy. All right, kids, listen up. If you want to grow up to be Carthaginian military leaders, there's a few things you have to understand. If you fail to succeed on the battlefield, that's a crucifixion, showing cowardice.
In world class Habibi, man, very easy things Paradox games them out. Yeah, actually true. I think Paradox games pretty much taught me everything I needed to know about history. And it's same with like the Total War games, right? They also just taught me everything I needed to know about all these historical matters, and it made it so fucking easy.
That's a crucifixion. Hello, sir. What are you doing here? Aren't you meant to be in Messana? Yeah, but the Romans showed up. So you just left? Sure did.
Oh no.
Oh, you better believe that's a crucifixion.
Why?
The Roman consuls were awarded
So essentially, if you did something cowardly, you got crucified.
for
Got
victory,
it? Okay.
and therefore tended to be aggressive go-getters. By contrast, the Carthaginian generals were brutally punished for failure, and so they tended to be more cautious.
Yeah,
and
because you didn't want to
restrained.
lose, right? So you
This
had to choose the
dynamic
best
is
option.
helpful for understanding some of the crazy things that happened during the Punic Wars. So, the Romans have crossed over to Messana, and now there was some red on the island.
Oh shit.
Hit that panic button. This turn of events was unacceptable to both Carthage and Syracuse, so the traditional enemies teamed up to kick the Romans off their island. They surrounded the city and said, "Hey, you jerks! This isn't your island! Come out of there at once!" "Okay, we're coming!" See, Phil?
But
you
I'm always just gonna like, how did the Carthaginians know that the Romans were like fucking? They were like the giga chats of like war though at this point. Like I don't get that. Because like they were good at on the fleet, right? But like, why would they ever challenge them to a land war that was even like like slightly, like even in numbers? But maybe that's
gotta
just
speak with
maybe he's
authority.
gonna answer that.
That's
as well.
what being an alpha male's all about.
I didn't say it's alpha male. Okay, got it.
Oh, you brought your weapons and armor? No, I didn't mean... Oh, crap. Out the Roman legions came to engage the Carthaginians in battle, and they sent them packing. With the Battle of Messana, whether intended or not, by going to help the Mamertines, the two sides had just slipped into an all-out war.
It's
With
going
the
to show
initial Roman
point
victory,
later on.
towns
Okay.
across Sicily, including Syracuse, began switching allegiance.
Well, what the fuck were you? Obviously, they're gonna show allegiance. Like again, it also shows one thing: is the Italians will always switch sides when it doesn't look favorable. Like maybe this was at the start when they finally realized we Italians, we're really not that that like brave. So let's just switch sides, right? Maybe this is when it all started, man. Maybe this
Because being a winner is more fun.
Damn straight.
But the Carthaginians weren't about to just give up that easily. In 262 BC, they began building up their forces at
You're in the past, damn
So
straight,
the
man.
Romans, being aggressive go-getters, aggressively go-got them. The Romans immediately laid siege, hoping to starve out the Carthaginian garrison. However, because this was the first time Rome had been fighting outside the Italian peninsula, across the water, they struggled to supply their forces, and before long, the Romans were as starving as the Carthaginians they were besieging. They had to forage.
I guess
for
at this point, they hadn't really improved like the foraging aspect, because I know like Caesar was like amazing at like foraging. when he was in Gaul. Again, like I've read so much about it, Caesar. I've read a lot about his like memoirs as well.
Food, leaving them open to ambush. And when Carthaginian reinforcements arrived, creating a double siege, things.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought they did. Wait, did they build a? Wait. Was this like? Did they? Is that the second time? Because did they really build a wall over that? So Caesar actually wasn't the first to do that. There was another guy that did it first.
Got really bad.
That's cool.
Everybody starved each other for months until nobody could take it anymore, and they all finally came out for battle.
Double siege,
which
man. That's
Rome
actually fucking cool.
won. Here's the report from the recent siege at Agrippina.
Imagine if you could do that in Total War games. Like there was a guy like sieging, but you didn't, and sieging the capital, but then you decided to siege them instead. Man, that could be fucking cool. Roman is always copying stats. Yeah, that's like the thing that did the most. Burger cheese, welcome.
We killed 30,000 while only suffering 7,000 losses?
That's
amazing.
What the fuck? That's
We're
like
the
wild,
best.
actually.
Yes, sir. Whoops, those are the
Oh.
wrong way around. What? We lost
What the fuck do you
30,000? We're the worst. But we won, right? Yes, sir. But we also got our asses kicked.
Soviet
Yes, sir.
strats,
So are we
motherfucker.
the best
Soviet
or the
strats.
worst? Yes, sir.
Damn
The Romans
straight,
won
damn
at
straight,
Agrippina
man. Damn
because
fucking
they were
straight.
aggressive go-getters, and they now began eyeing up the possibility of conquering the entire island. But they
Again,
also
Sicily is a
suffered
massive
very
bread
heavy
basket as
and
well.
it was clear they couldn't sustain a campaign if they couldn't supply their troops. Here's the issue. Sicily
Was an island. Islands are surrounded by water.
And Romans
A
don't like
strong
water, right?
navy would be vital for supplying troops and winning the war. Here was Carthage's navy,
Look how well these like boats are like.
and
Oh,
here,
like I just
and winning.
look how well he made all those boats. Like the amount of like I know that just like he made one of them and then just like copied them all over, right? But like imagine the time it took for him to draw all of this, man. Like fuck, dude. Once they came to the village with the English tourists, where we had
the war.
a party for 2
Here
days.
was Carthage's navy, and here was Rome's.
That's a big ass,
I
though.
think you can see the problem.
Damn, that
Historians
man had a
debate
booty.
just how much naval experience Rome had at this point. Presumably, they must have had something to defend their shoreline.
Must
But
have had.
whatever it was, it would have paled in comparison to the Carthaginian juggernaut. And so Rome had to figure out exactly what to do about all this water.
Come on, men. We're not gonna let some pansy candy-ass water get in the way of our glorious victory against
Damn straight.
Carthage.
Damn straight.
Charge!
You're Roman.
Tell my kids.
Imagine if they all actually tried to like swim over there, just like bare hands, just swim over there.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. What's a
Hey,
boat?
where's the reaction to my comment?
No,
What do you
if the
mean?
Romans-
Once they came to my village with the English tourists, and we had a party, for 2 days. What do you mean? Once they came to my village with English tourists, and we had a party for 2 days. I don't understand. Once they came to my village with English tourists, and we had a. I don't understand it, man.
Wanted
I'm
to win
sorry.
this war and obtain Sicily. There was only one thing for them to do. I guess we're just gonna have to go ahead and build ourselves a war fleet, aren't we? From scratch? From scratch. But we don't even know how.
Never mind how to fight with one. Don't worry, Hank.
We're up to the challenge. Come on, guys. We're Romans, and Romans aren't afraid of anything.
And so, the Romans worked long and hard trying to figure out how on earth you actually build the latest style of warship. In the end,
Wait. Horses are a boat, not a boat. Fish are a boat, not a boat.
they had a bit of luck on their side. A Carthaginian quinquirem ended up accidentally
Yeah, I remember like they built these like towers on top of the boats because they had that in Total War, right? And then they would put like fucking like siege equities on top of it and stuff like that. Like my god, it's fucking wild, man, what they put on those boats. And they must have been massive. And just imagine all those like fucking people down here just rowing those boats, how strong they must have been. Fucking wild.
grounding on Italian soil. The Romans found it and
Couldn't
copied the
understand either. It's a
design.
difficult text.
While the new fleet was being built, the Romans trained rowers on land. And would you believe it? The Romans put together a full fighting fleet of 120 warships in just
That's pretty cool.
2 months. A staggering feat.
2
Now,
months?
I know
Damn.
what you're thinking, but oversimplified. If the Romans can build a war fleet from scratch
I know where
in
this
2
is going.
months, then why does it take you half a year to make a video? Well, my valued subscriber,
I think you should shut up.
Yeah, but again, yeah, it did take him like half a year to make this, and again, like it's already like I feel like it's worth it 100%. But I cannot wait if he's gonna like do another one on like I really like the Napoleon one. I want him to do more in that at that era. That could be really cool.
The heck? How on earth did the Romans learn how to build a war fleet? This shouldn't be happening. From what I hear, they copied the design from us, sir. Well, how on earth did they get the blueprint, Carl? I don't know, sir. But I'll tell you what. If you're worried about people stealing your data, no, and you want to protect yourself from outside threats,
it's an ad. It's a fucking ad.
If you mention NordVPN, I'll scream. Oh yeah, the Siege at Agrigentum, supply issues, and building a war fleet. So now the Romans have a navy, and it's time to put it to the test. But how does one wage ancient naval warfare?
Yeah, that's 62. How do they do that?
All of the ships had giant bronze rams on the front. So all you had to do was outmaneuver the enemy and give him the jimmies. Easy as pie. And so the aggressive
That seems like such a convoluted way of fighting.
Jimmy giving. The consul, Gnaeus Cornelius Scipio, set out for the
Scipio
town
Africanus.
of Lipara, believing the garrison there wanted
Want to come to Georgia? Yeah, someday I want to.
As he entered the harbor, however, he found himself trapped by a Carthaginian fleet. And in the following
Imagine the
skirmish,
luck
he
of the
was
Carthaginians just like finding them there.
outmatched. The Romans may have had a brand new fleet, but when it came to engaging in actual combat, their inexperience showed. There was
Yoinked in
just
few
something
seconds,
better
damn,
about
man.
the Carthaginian ships. The Carthaginian rowers had nicer abs. The entire Carthaginian Empire had been built on expert seamanship. So, when it came to water, the Carthaginians were better.
Like
and the
some
Romans
kids probably grew
were
up like
better.
fucking rowing their
In their
entire
initial
life, right? That would make
skirmish,
sense.
the
That would
Romans
actually
were
make
beaten
sense.
so
The same with like the
badly
English
that
bowmen
consul,
when they fought in
Scipio,
France.
was given a nickname, Asina.
Oh.
And if you're wondering what that means, just drop the Ina.
Oh, he's ass. Okay, it took me like a fucking second to figure out.
So what were the Romans to do? How could they possibly stand up to this Carthaginian superpower?
Hot no.
Well, there's something you gotta understand about the Romans. Back when they found that Carthaginian ship and copied its design, that wasn't a one-off thing. Copying their enemies was as Roman as punishing murderers by sewing them into a leather pouch with a monkey, snake, and rooster, and then throwing them into a river, which
What the fuck? Like, that must be fucking frightening. Like, those animals must be fucking mad. It's the same like I saw that in Game of Thrones as well, like with them where they had like the bucket with a rat inside, and then you took the fire at the end of the bucket, and then the rat would start like clawing through you as like a punishment. My God, bro, I hate these bots adding me. Yeah, man, I get it. I know, man. It fucking sucks. Dude.
which is a thing they did. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, copying their enemies. Many of the most famous Roman inventions were actually borrowed.
Yep.
Aqueducts, chariot racing, their gods. Even in warfare, the Romans would get pierced by a Sabine javelin, and they'd be like, wow. They'd get hacked to bits by an Iberian sword, and they'd be like, wow. And they'd copy the designs for themselves.
And didn't they? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they also made it better. But in every single way sense of the word, right? And when Romans conquered some places, right? In some ways you could say like, yeah, they conquered them, they took over the land, right? But in many ways it also brought a lot of like stability to those places, and also built aqueducts, so the common people actually could get stuff like fresh water, like toiletry, stuff that they didn't have before. So in some sense of the word, while yeah, it's bad to be conquered, right? But it did also give the people a lot more like a lot more rights, because they could actually like talk shit about their, let's say, like the governor and stuff like that. So it gave them a little bit more like, not democracy, but democracy, very like little bit of light.
However, they wouldn't just copy it. They would advance it, finding ways to adapt it as perfectly as possible.
It's the second bot adding me today, and how the fuck am I supposed to know that if it's a bot account at Latvia and I only mistaken? But yeah, man, it is, man. It's
the Romans realized if they wanted to beat the Carthaginians at their own game, they would have to adapt. The Romans excelled at combat on land, not on water. But what if, they said, we could somehow turn a sea battle into a land battle?
How the fuck were you supposed to do that, though?
Right? Well,
ram into
they
them
made
and
a
just
couple
attack?
of tweaks to their warship, and look.
What time is it? My clock 22:23. Well, it's 8:19 where I am, man.
Here they come again.
They must love getting their asses
You're like 2 hours
so,
ahead of
what's
me
that
in
tall
Georgia.
thing sticking out of their ships?
It's like a little like snake tooth.
They really are idiots. Look at that thing. That'll make them blow over. I mean, look
That's
at
2120 for me. Oh, I can already tell. It's gonna go down right, and then just to make it into like a.
your camera out.
I think I've played with these in Total War as well. I think I've done that as well.
I mean, how stupid can you be? Let's just add a big wooden tower to our ship that'll weigh us down and blow us over in the wind. I mean, what does that thing even do?
Let's go! And then they completely fucked, dude. Ay, ay. That's actually fucking genius, though. Like, imagine the guy who came up with that design, though. How rich that guy must have been after that. Like, how much money he probably made after that. Like, just it being the guy who designed that. Like, yeah, it's really OP, especially for the Romans,
Big
man.
swinging spiked gangway called the Corvus. So when the Carthaginian ships approached to ram them, the Romans would just slam them.
Damn.
The Carthaginians tried going around. No problem. The Corvus could swivel. Try
That's
going
actually
behind.
genius.
The Romans would huddle to the coastline. It
Whoa.
was foolproof. Those big, sexy Carthaginian
Yeah, but who
rowing
cares
vessels
about you
could
being good at
flex all
rowing,
they
man?
want, but
When
they
you
were
all you gotta
no
be good at
match
fucking swinging a
for
sword,
the
man.
Roman mind. So, ladies.
How would the mods nerf that? I think they would just I think if the mods were gonna nerf this, should probably just remove not the Germans, the Romans, because they're just too damn fucking smart, man. They're too damn fucking smart.
You see?
They're too OP
What
already.
really matters is what's on the inside. Please go out with me. And with that, the Romans, who had only
Average
just
FrizoYT
recently
fan.
began dabbling in the art of naval combat, thanks to their ingenious Corvus, had just managed to outclass the Mediterranean seafaring superpower. the
Just
Carthaginians.
imagine like every other country, like other like places that were owned by the Carthaginians, when they heard that the Carthaginians lost a battle on the water. Just imagine the news that were coming out like that. Like some kingdoms just kind of like been like, oh man, I don't want to pay all these fucking taxes to the goddamn Carthaginians. Ooh, and then they heard like the Romans just beat the Carthaginians on a fucking naval battle. What the fuck? Like imagine the news going around. Like what the fuck?
Were stunned, and the general in charge of the defeated Carthaginian fleet,
Hannibal Gisco
well, you better believe that's a crucifixion.
is first participating
With their
in
newfound
NSS. And what the fuck is
control of the
NSS?
seas, the Romans could now more easily blockade
No
coastal
wait, no
cities
Sim
and
September?
supply
Yeah,
their legions on
definitely
land.
no Sim September.
Surely,
Definitely.
the Romans were now free to unleash their aggression all over the island. Haha! Hey, Carthaginians, what are you gonna do now that we're
Yeah,
free
they
to
still gotta take
rampage
the fort,
across the
though.
island? We're gonna go inside these walls and close this gate. Oh, come on, guys. Stop messing around. Come out so we can kill you. No. Oh, come on. No. Oh, no. To counter the new Roman
We Georgians were
supremacy,
smarter,
the
man.
Carthaginians
Smarter than
decided to
the
engage
fucking
in a
Romans
defensive
that
war of
had a
attrition,
massive empire
forcing the
spanning
Romans
pretty much
to
the whole of
engage
Europe.
in siege. After lengthy siege, the war in Sicily became a long, hard, back-and-forth slug. One by one, cities slowly fell as the Romans gained ground. Occasionally, the Carthaginians countered and even
Yeah,
pushed
just
them
imagine
back,
all the
only
men
for the
dying, 'cause
Romans
sieges are
to
fucking,
rebound
like,
again.
long, man.
And whenever a city did finally fall, the Romans could delight in slaughtering
Georgia
the
better
entire
still? Yeah,
population
sure.
and selling any survivors into slavery, which was pretty standard procedure at the time.
Yeah, it was.
In general, the campaign on land was
Like I also, again, I know I've said this before, right? But I have a friend. This friend, he's what we call a bit special. This friend believes that slavery, in some sense of the word, is immoral at all points in history, even though it's only like this time in history where slavery is seen as immoral. I just always gotta say that, man. Like back in these days, it was completely normal, right? But his claim is that even back then, people like didn't like slavery. Even the people that had slaves didn't like it. Like I just think that's a bit weird. Like Latvia, yeah, they did actually colonize.
progressing much slower.
Again,
than the
Latvia was actually like a fucking colonial, not a colonial power, but they had a colony.
Romans had hoped.
It was
And
kinda
quite
wild, man.
frankly, they were getting sick of it. So in 256 BC, they decided that something had to change. Hey everyone, my name's Marcus Attilius Regulus, and I'll be one
Isn't
of
that
your consuls for
I
this
think
year.
that's the guy who
Look,
gets tortured
as
to
I'm
death.
sure
That
you
guy
all know,
goes back to Rome and gets
Sicily's being
tortured.
a bit of a drag. Sure, I could go and spend my entire year as consul besieging
I remember
one
him being
single
really, really
city,
Chad.
but they'll never make a naked statue of me for that. So here's the
Sure.
new plan. I'm gonna skip Sicily entirely. take my army and go right for the heart of Carthage itself.
Oh.
I'll slaughter the men, enslave all the women and children, and when I return, you'll all build 1,000 naked
That's the
statues
dumbass
of
that
me.
who went back. Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah. I knew it, man. Like at least like Regulus was the type of motherfucker to be like, we do slavery, we do so much horrible shit in this world, but I'm not gonna break a promise, man. I'm not gonna break a promise. That's the type of motherfucker Regulus was. He was so Chad that he literally just fucking like, he didn't give a fuck, man. If he made a promise to somebody, he was gonna goddamn fucking keep it, man. I fucking love it.
Marcus, that women and children stuff, that seems pretty evil and barbaric. No, Jim, it's perfectly normal in the ancient
Damn
world.
straight it is.
Sometimes we even chop their pets in half.
I did not know that though. I did not.
Okay, guys,
What?
looks like the Romans are coming straight for us this time. And what will they do when they get here? They'll kill us all. They'll massacre each and every last one of us. They may even chop our pets in half. That's barbaric! No, Rob, it's actually pretty normal for the
Damn.
time.
Okay.
We'd
Shit.
do
Shit.
the same to them. Who'll protect us? Funny you should ask, Mary. That's kind of why I called this meeting.
Oh.
Who will protect us? Protect our families, our homes, our children. You guys? Ha! Don't make me laugh.
Is this like a football speech?
Why? You're
I thought
just
it-
a bunch of stupid and weak farmers.
I thought this was gonna be
Simple-minded
inspiring. What the
buffoons.
fuck is this?
Cowards. Fools. Rob here thinks enslaving women and children is barbaric. You're a
So
snowflake,
dumb, Rob.
Yes, you are. The fact
Oh.
is, if the Romans manage to land on African
Snowflake
soil,
Rob.
we're all gonna die.
Damn, they have the best
Terrifying,
politician. Oh
hideous,
god, not even the lines of
unspeakably
people. Damn straight, man.
painful death.
Romans are gays. They thought you would protect your lover in war more than your friend, and they would sleep with each other. Yep, that's actually true. And we also watched a video where, like in again, they got it from the Greeks. The Greeks had like a relationship, not a sexual relationship, because there was no penetration between like a young man and an older man. And the Romans were kind of like, that's fucking sick, man. And then the Romans were kind of like, so they don't penetrate, but we're gonna change that shit right now. So yeah, that what it is, man. It was tough thought back in the day, bro. It was taught back in the day, bro. Well, yeah. Ave Romanus. Gotta do what you gotta do, man. So
Is
get your
that the end of
your
that
dick
speech?
fucking sucked, man. Like, what are you gonna do, man?
Yes.
That's a horrible motherfucking speech. Maybe this is also what's gonna happen if like the politicians are gonna will actually be fucking honest.
Carthaginians had to stop the Romans from ever landing in Africa because they believed.
Why does
that would
he
be the
outline
end.
Greece like that
So
though?
as the Romans were building an invasion fleet, the size of which the world had never seen before, the Carthaginians were preparing an even bigger one to stop them.
shit.
And in 256 BC, as the Roman invasion fleet made its way south, the stage was set for a humongous battle
Battle
that
of
saw
Cape
680 warships, around 300,000 men, fighting
No
to decide the
fucking
course of the
way.
war. To this day, the Battle of Cape Ignomas remains possibly the largest naval battle in human history.
What?
All the way back in ancient times. So the next
It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling that at that point in time, we already set records for war. That's fucking wild, man. They're gonna be better in part 2. I can't wait for part 2, man. Go
time your
watch that in a
granddad
second.
tells you about the time he sank a Japanese aircraft carrier. Kick him in the nuts. The Romans had a lot
That's
lighter
cool
in
as the
this
Punic
battle.
Wars.
They weren't just sending their warships,
Ay, ay,
but
ay, ay, ay.
transports as well, full of supplies and horses for their invasion of Africa. They therefore formed a protective wedge-like formation to
Oh.
punch through the long, thin Carthaginian line. The Carthaginian generals, however, desperate to prevent the Romans from reaching Africa, had a plan of their own. As the Roman fleet approached, the Carthaginian center feigned a retreat, luring the Romans in so their outstretched flanks could envelop them and get
Oh
around
shit, that's actually a
the
really good
Roman
idea.
corvus.
That's actually a really good
clever
idea.
plan. But with such a huge battle
Oh, yeah.
and so many ships crowded together, the Carthaginians
See,
struggled
that
to
actually
maneuver
makes sense.
as hoped. And in the chaos, 3 separate battles emerged across the huge battle space. With the number of ships limiting their ability to maneuver, the Carthaginians became sitting ducks, and all the Romans had to do
Yeah, because they couldn't hit him from the side as well. Like, goddamn.
was start swinging. The Roman center came out on top, and were then able to turn around and rescue their pinned down flanks. The Battle of Cape Ignomas was a Roman victory.
30 to 40,000 Carthaginians sunk. 10,000. What the fuck? And then there was 94 ships lost, 30 sunk, 64 captured. What? 24 ships lost, all sunk, and then the Romans lost all their own. Please react to now. This is, I mean, it's gonna take a while, man. Already like fucking set like a high bar for like the episode 2 here. Set a massive bar.
After the gigantic battle at Cape Ignomas, the Romans were now free to land on African soil. And so, they did. The Carthaginians chose to focus on defending the city of Carthage itself. So the Romans immediately took the city of Aspis, and were then free to raid and plunder the countryside.
Aspis. Aspis. I'm sorry, like my child brain just my child brain just like fucking clicked in there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
They took over 20,000 slaves and a ton of booty. But
if it's not a long video, we can watch it. Piece in the ass there,
the booty.
Oh, but I want to stay.
Bro, this was literally me back in like I know I'm hiding it right now, but like this was me back in like fucking high school, man. And like my god, I had like the fucking best ass back in high school. My god, man, my fucking god. I was known as Assius Maximus, bro.
No, Steve, not you. They mean the treasure. Well, we are not watching any more of this filth. So the other console.
Actually, like I actually heard there's like a lot of schools actually show OverSimplified in schools, right? Because it actually genuinely makes kids watch it. Because I know like I have like I know like my old teacher actually shows these videos in class because they just explain it so fucking well and makes it fun to actually see it. And I think it's so fucking good, dude. I had an ass bigger than the girls, man. I had titties bigger than the girls, man.
Leaving Regulus and his forces on their own, and they began advancing towards Carthage. Along the way, according to the ancient writer Livy, they encountered a literal dragon. Now, Livy was a Roman historian, so his account may be slightly exaggerated. But this, I believe,
damn straight,
as the
man.
Romans continued to plunder,
they 100% met a dragon.
People flooded into the city. Now, not only was it in a major panic, but it was so crowded, the people began to starve. Don't panic, everyone! Look.
And the fat friend had a tits bigger than the girls.
I know you're all starving, but I still have food. For me.
Fuck the peasantry, man.
You know,
fuck them, dude.
It's not all bad.
Whoa! You're wasting your tomatoes! And you idiots wonder why you're starving? Oh well, it's just more food for me!
The fact he animated him eating, like, my god, dude.
Do something to stop the Romans rampaging throughout their land. So they decided, finally, it was time to put an end to it. They headed out and set up on rough hilly terrain overlooking the Roman camp, and they prepared for battle. Now, while the Carthaginians were the traditional masters of the sea,
yeah, they sucked on land, right?
They weren't always the brightest. Case in point, setting up in this position overlooking the Roman camp was just about the stupidest thing.
But I'm just gonna ask a question here. Doesn't being on the high ground, isn't that the best though? Because then they have to spend energy getting up on the hill and fight upwards. Isn't because you want to because swing like this is really bad, like swing like this. But you want to if you can swing down, you have a lot more energy, you know, with gravity and stuff like that. Isn't it best to be up on high ground?
They could have done. Why? Well, there's something you gotta understand about Carthage.
Okay.
The Carthaginian land forces actually suffered from a multitude of different issues.
Yeah, mercenaries,
First
right?
of all, since the Carthaginians were rich, they could afford to pay a huge number of foreign mercenaries to fight for them.
Not if you okay, that's actually true. That's actually true. But horses and elephants on hills is shit. I agree with that.
These mercenaries actually made up the vast majority of Carthage's force.
Because that's when you play Total War Rome in the start day when you play as like a young Rome and like in this specific war, Carthage has like massive mercenary buffs and like stuff like that. So already know this.
Forces, and therefore Carthage's land armies were a melting pot of many different cultures. This, however, meant that if a battle wasn't going their way, there could be loyalty issues. Man, I ain't getting paid enough for this. You Balearic slingers better not be thinking of running away. What did he say? I don't know, man. I don't speak Phoenician. Let's get out of here.
Damn straight.
Clearly,
Damn
there were
straight.
also language issues. The military generals tended to be Carthaginian, but they made a lot of strange decisions. For example, one of the most feared assets of the Carthaginian army were the war elephants. To a Roman soldier who had never even seen
I
one.
have to be honest, like, war elephant is one of the worst things you could put out on the battlefield, because they genuinely don't do anything. The only thing they do is give a fear factor, as it shows here, man. This really will react to what I talked to. Again, it depends on, like, if my parents are going to bed. That's all it depends on, man.
Elephant before. This was like fist
They're
fighting,
going to bed at
a
9.
literal monster.
And it's almost 9.
Yet the Carthaginians
Yeah, elephants scary. That's
continually
pretty much like
kept
one
placing
thing.
the elephants in the rear, where they
Yeah.
were no use.
Because you wanted to,
In a
like,
similar
put
fashion,
the shock
the
in
neighboring
the
region of
troops.
Numidia provided Carthage with the most skilled
Yeah,
cavalrymen.
I heard stories about the Numidian cavalry. Like, these cavalry was, like, the fucking best in the world. Like, even the Romans, when they had the option to, like, recruit Numidian cavalry, they were, like, so much fucking better than anything Rome could
in the
field.
world. But the Carthaginians often chose to fight on rough, uneven terrain, where horses and elephants were less effective. And so, in this case, when the Carthaginians again chose the rough terrain near the Roman camp, the Romans easily sent them packing.
Oh, that's
Wow,
actually cringe.
Regulus. We're mere miles from Carthage. You sure are amazing. Yes, Steve. I know. Steve?
Oh my god.
What's the matter?
Shaticus
We've almost
Romulus. Oh
won.
my god.
I just wish I could be as great as you, Regulus. Steve, you're amazing.
Wait.
I mean, look at this thing. It's
Damn.
unbelievable. I know, but I mean, like, at war stuff. I'm such a noob. My tanks always get blown up.
Oh, it's
I
an
can't even
ad.
fly an aircraft
It's an
straight.
ad. No.
Tanks? Aircraft? What are you talking about, Steve? I'm talking about free-to-play online multiplayer combat game, and
War
this
Thunder.
video's sponsor, Now, where were we? Oh, yeah.
You want a good video to watch? Go watch insert news show name here. It's so funny. I don't
Invading
know-
Africa,
What?
getting
I don't
some
know what the fuck
booty,
that is.
and sending the Carthaginians packing. Everything was looking up for Regulus. A Roman victory seemed like it was only a matter of time. But then, Regulus realized something. He had been consul for
Oh yeah,
almost
so
a
he loses
year,
his command,
and
right?
his term was coming to an end. He knew that if his successor took over and he finished the job, then he would get the naked statues.
Oh, shit.
Not Regulus. And there was no way Regulus
Yeah, you can share links. Just share links.
was going to allow that. So he jumped the gun. You there, Carthaginian boy. I want you to deliver a message to your elders. I, Marcus Attilius Regulus,
I have to say, Roman names were so fucking good. Brutus, Maximus, Aurelius, like, just those names, man. It's just, it does something to me, man. Like, it gives me such a fucking Roma boo boner, man. Rush B bad. The system could really been better.
demand the total and unconditional surrender of Carthage. Unconditional surrender? Jeez, at least lay siege and starve us all to death first. Just deliver the message, you punk! He demands your total surrender. What? Jeez, at least lay siege and starve us all to death first.
Damn.
That's what I said. Well, boys, this Roman thinks we're out. But we're not out, are we, boys? No! We'll do what we
Are they
always
actually gonna
do
fight
in
this
times
time? Like,
like
actually
this.
gonna win, maybe?
Hire
Again, I don't
somebody
know.
else
I
to
don't
solve
actually
our
haven't.
problems for us. Darren,
I actually don't know if they ever
bring
actually win
in
any land wars.
the Spartan.
Whoa.
Regulus's overly
Oh
harsh
yeah,
demands had the
yeah.
unintended
This is before the Spartans become cum slots. I completely forgot that. This is before like the Romans own it and make all the Greeks into like femboys. I completely forgot all about that. And these days Italians' names Roberto. Yeah, that's so fucking bad, man. They need to go back to a chat fucking
of
Roman names.
reinvigorating Carthaginian resolve. They brought in a mercenary from the famed land
Roberto,
of Sparta
Alberto,
named Xanthippus to help dig them out of this situation. And we all know what Spartans are like.
Oh, move 300.
Xanthippus showed up and immediately took charge. He had a look around and said, "You idiots! Put the elephants in front of the army so they can smash into the Romans. And stop fighting on rough, uneven terrain. Find a big flat field so your superior cavalry can do their job. And what's this I hear about you giving a speech telling everyone they're gonna die?
Just imagine having
I
this
was just
this
telling the
massive
people
of an
the
empire,
truth.
right?
You're a
And you don't even know how to
politician.
fucking go to war.
Lie to the people.
This is
And
Sparta!
so Xanthippus led out the newly reformed Carthaginian army to meet Regulus in the Battle of the Bagridas River. The elephants, now in the front, smashed into the Roman lines, causing disarray.
Shit.
The cavalry, with total freedom of movement, outflanked the Roman infantry. Thanks to this impressive Spartan, the battle was a total Carthaginian victory. And Xanthippus, for his stunning victory, was forced to flee Carthage because the leadership got jealous.
What?
Regulus.
Just imagine the amount of money he's probably promised for going all the way to fucking Carthage and doing that. Just imagine the amount of money. Marcelo, what is it? What you doing holding a pistol? Mamma mia, Marcello, that's not how you hold a pistol. What you mean? This is how you hold a pistol. Alberto, come and look at Marcello. Mamma mia. Pista pazza, man. Mama, not the spaghetti, mama, no.
Roman consul was captured during the battle. Legend has it, he was brought before the Carthaginian council, and they made a proposition. Well, Reggie, not looking so good anymore, is it? Looks like we beat you pretty bad, huh?
Up yours, you Punic pansies!
Now, Regulus. Nobody likes
It was
us.
based if then went to the Romans and helped them. Yeah, that could have been cool,
We're gonna
man.
send you back to Rome, and you convince the Roman Senate to surrender to us. If you fail, though, you gotta come back so we can torture you to death. Okay? Okay.
This is the chat moment. This is chat moment.
Promise? I promise. Hey guys. Whoa, Regulus. We thought you got captured. I did, but they sent me back to convince you to surrender. Well, should we? Surrender? No! Never surrender! Give them hell, boys. They're at the end of their rope. Anyway, I gotta go be tortured.
So fucking chat. He promises to fucking go to Rome. Gotta make them surrender. He tells them that yeah, they want us to surrender. But I gotta go back now, man, and get tortured to death. And they're all kind of like, nah, don't leave, man. It's just a promise, man. But nah, I'm an alpha, male, peak specimen on this motherfucking planet. You think that I'm not gonna keep a promise? I ain't in fucking beta. I'm alpha.
To death
Like,
now.
my
What?
God, dude.
Yep, part of a deal I made. It's a long story. Oh, hey, wait, Regulus. No, it's cool, guys. I promised. Regulus. This is ancient times. We massacre entire populations. We chop pets in half. You can break a promise.
No, Tim!
Oh shit.
You never break a promise! That's too far!
And
I think that's also true.
Regulus
Like a
went
lot
back to
of
Carthage
promises were
and
actually
was
kept back then.
tortured to death. And for
He had to get the statue somehow, man. That's actually true. But does he get a statue?
keeping his
Does
promise,
he get a statue?
he was immortalized
Oh!
as the leading symbol of Roman virtue.
Just imagine though. Like I know that in the future, I know that a lot of the statues' heads were chopped off and then replaced with like I think it was Nero and Caesar and the others. So unfortunately, like his statue has probably been like completely defiled at this point. But
Meanwhile,
pretty cool.
after their defeat in Africa, the remaining Roman survivors, still in Africa, were still in Africa.
Oh.
And they needed to be rescued. So the Romans sent their fleet to pick him up and bring him home. They successfully fended off a Carthaginian fleet, grabbed the survivors, and made their way to Sicily. A great success.
Oh shit!
But then, things took a turn for the worse.
Make pancakes. Make pancakes. Thanks for the follow, man.
Cloud looks kind of angry.
Fear not!
Coward. If we Romans can build a war fleet from scratch and defeat the
what up, what up?
Carthaginian Empire at their own game, why then even Mother Nature
Nature.
herself will crumble before
Face!
us. I laugh in the
Face!
face of Mother Nature. Ha ha!
I know what's gonna happen.
Come on, guys.
No.
Laugh at Mother Nature with me. Ha ha!
Ay, ay, ay. Look how fucking well that it's made as well. Like I don't know, completely understand why it took a half a year to make this. Like just look how much effort has been put in, like with everything moving at the same time, and like even had to like make this one like the different way that you didn't see this way before. Like so fucking good, man. It like he's so giga chaticus, man.
284
looks fucking
ships,
amazing,
nearly
man.
80% of the Roman fleet was destroyed. As many as 100,000 men drowned.
See, that sounds kind of bit like a sus numbers, man. That sounds like some Caesar numbers. Caesar in gold kind of numbers, I have to say. It kind of sounds like that.
Terrifying act of nature. Never before had Rome lost so many men in a single incident. 100,000 casualties for any other nation would be crippling.
Thank you, FB3 Network. Thank you, man. Love you.
Any other nation would hastily sue for peace. Any other nation would spend decades trying to recover.
Well, yeah.
But Rome was not just any other nation. Infamous for its unrelenting determination in the face of overwhelming odds. Rome said, well, I guess we'll just have to build another fleet. And they did. In just 3 months, they built 220 more ships. An astonishing feat.
How are you gonna defeat that, though?
Brand spanking new war fleet.
How are you gonna defeat that, though? I did the same thing every single. How are you gonna defeat that, though?
In another storm. This time, a whole nother fleet was lost.
Fuck.
And still,
I can react to a video. Again, just send it in. I'll look at it maybe later.
The Carthaginians couldn't believe it. Their enemy had just lost hundreds of thousands.
That's probably, again, this last time was like 280 something ships. This time was 150. So they probably lost about like 150 to 107,000 fucking troops. Imagine how much fucking like economic damage that must fucking do to your goddamn land. Imagine that. And they just keep fucking going.
Men had 2 fleets almost entirely destroyed, and they still wouldn't surrender. As one Roman poet put it, the victor is not victorious if the vanquished does not consider himself so.
This would not be Quintus Aeneas, this would be Chedicus Maximus, like, what the fuck, man?
In typical Roman fashion, after a short break, they were once again building another fleet.
Imagine the money being spent, the wood being cut, and all the men to build it.
The focus began shifting back to the land campaign in Sicily. The Carthaginians, overconfident from recent successes, attempted to retake Panormus, but the Romans countered the terrifying war elephants by throwing stuff at them and scaring them away. Having stopped the Carthaginian advance, the road was now open to the final Carthaginian stronghold on the island, Lilybaeum.
Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure there's some bad things happened here. I'm pretty sure.
In 250 BC, the Romans laid siege.
Okay, maybe not.
The Carthaginian defense, however, was fierce, and skilled blockade runners kept the city supplied. Progress was so slow that the siege would last another 9 years. To make matters worse, the Carthaginians later sent possibly the...
Imagine spending 9 years inside some goddamn walls. Imagine that. Imagine literally spending... It's like being in a city. You can't leave for 9 fucking years, man. Like, fuck, dude. Just the stress of being besieged and shit like that. Like being shot at by catapults. Like, that must feel so fucking bad.
Greatest military general of the time, a man named Hamilcar
Barca. Oh, that's Hannibal's dad, as far as I remember.
He engaged in a skillful campaign of guerrilla warfare behind enemy lines. And for the remainder of the war, he was a major thorn in the Roman side. For
just
now,
like his son.
With the deadlocked siege at Lilybaeum and the new Roman fleet at sea, things seemed to be at a standstill, and the Romans had to do something to break the deadlock. Thankfully, the Roman consul, Clodius Pulcher, had an idea. He tried to get things moving by attacking the Carthaginian fleet at Trapana. Now, before a battle, to predict if they would win, it was common for the Romans to look for signs from the gods. This could mean observing the weather, or inspecting some cow livers.
Like later, I think there's also something called a Pontifex Maximus,
in this case,
like a religious guy.
He reportedly tried to feed some sacred chickens, but unfortunately for him, they wouldn't eat a crumb. A very bad sign. Well, he said, if they won't eat, then let them drink! Stupid chickens! We'll observe the weather instead. Gods, give me a sign. Ignore that. Okay, how about this? If I can get this piece of paper into that trash basket,
imagine everything going bad and you just want to go to war, man.
If I can
imagine
stand here
that
silently
shit,
for
dude.
5 seconds and do nothing, we'll win. Pulcher chose to ignore the signs from the gods, and in the following battle, the superior Carthaginians tore them to shreds. It also didn't help that by now the Romans had removed the corvus to stabilize their ships. And without their secret weapon, it was a disaster.
Fuck stability, man. It's all about base.
Was disgraced. To make matters worse, the victorious Carthaginian fleet then went on
How are you
to
doing,
intercept
Prison
the
Man?
Roman
Why no
supply
Hoi
fleet on its way to Lilybaeum.
So the Germany player left, and that's why we didn't do a Hoi 4 game. Unfortunately, I know it's fucking sad, man. That's why we're watching some videos instead. But again, if you want to play a game, man, we need people. We need people. So again, if anybody want to join Hoi games, down in the description, we got a Discord.
As they approached, however, they saw the signs of an incoming storm, so they took shelter. The Romans, on the other hand, said, "Onward, men! Set sail! We've got to deliver these
Like, I
supplies
know I always
stat."
talk like good
But,
shit
sir,
about Rome, but
those
please,
clouds,
motherfuckers,
don't
just
you
for
think we ought to
once
have
don't
learned our
fucking
lesson
lose
by now?
complete.
Yes, Brian, we ought to have. But we haven't. Another fleet and 50,000 men lost in another storm. Disaster. Now, at this point, there still really isn't a clear winner. Sure, the Romans have captured most of Sicily.
Sounds
and
like the
cornered
Carthaginians are
Carthaginian
pretty much
land forces
winning.
at Lilybaeum. But the continued disasters at sea were critically depleting their resources. And without a strong fleet, Rome could not win. Meanwhile, Hamilcar Barca was still knocking
Let me
about
guess, they're
and
gonna build
creating
another
even
one.
more
Are they gonna build?
problems.
Can you guys guess?
So,
Are they gonna
where
build
do we
another
go
one?
from here? How does this war finally end? By now, the two sides had been fighting for 23
Well, sleep
years.
Ace, see you, dude, see you, dude.
They were
Good to see you, though. Good to see you.
exhausted. Their money, their resources, their strength were all utterly spent. The Carthaginians in particular were eager to see the
Obviously
war
not.
end so they could get back to trading and making money. So after the latest
Bye,
Roman
see you,
disaster
dude.
at sea, they said, "Look, there ain't no way in heck the Romans can come back again. They can't possibly afford to build another fleet.
Watch
They're done.
them.
That's
Watch
it.
them, dude.
Recall the navy, repurpose them as merchant ships, and let's get back to making some money." Assuming the Romans would soon make peace, an anti-war faction within the government recalled a large portion of the navy, leaving Hamilcar on his own. The victors appeared to be declaring themselves victorious. Meanwhile, the
If I had a nickel for every time the Romans lost nearly all of its navy, I would have 3, which is not much, but it's weird that it happened 3 times. Yeah,
We're
that's
getting
true,
ready
man. That's
for
true.
round 5. The Romans built another fleet, this time
I
heavily
can't wait for the
relying on
second Punic
patriotic
War, man.
donations from the
Because
upper
I can already tell, like,
classes to
this is like the
afford
first one. He's
it.
probably gonna
And
make like a
once
second Punic
again,
War
they
video.
put to sea. Sir?
We're gonna
The
see that in
Romans
half
have
a year.
built another fleet. Oh, for goodness sake, Clarence! Can't you see I'm busy rolling around
For the
with this
fourth?
pile
No.
of money? But sir, I don't care anymore, Clarence. I just don't care. The Carthaginian politicians made a fairly lackluster final effort with a poorly built fleet to supply their forces in Sicily. But when the brand new Roman fleet caught them at the Battle of the Aegates, even without their signature corvus, they dealt them the final blow. And that was that. 23 years of war. Neither side could afford to keep fighting, but the Romans showed
You could literally have grown up, fought in the war, and become, and like, if you could literally, when the war started, you could have been an infant child, like just being born, and at this point you would be 23, and the war would have gone on for the entirety of your life. Imagine that, bro. Imagine.
that they intended to anyway. The Carthaginians had no choice but to throw in the towel. The war had been long and hard for both sides.
I'm guessing they're gonna get all Sicily, I'm guessing.
Roman determination.
And
that
I noticed
won
there's some like
the
pact about
fight.
Sardinia, I think.
The Romans had spent the entire war trying to find a way to deliver the knockout blow. They learned how to build a fleet and engage in naval combat. They
I
developed
think that the
ingenious
people just
new
didn't
ways
care
of
and were
waging
like,
war.
this is my
They
life now.
attempted
Yeah,
an invasion
maybe.
of the Carthaginian heartland, and whenever disasters struck them, they always came back, again and again. The Carthaginians, on the other hand, spent the entire war watching whatever Rome did, and then figuring out how to respond.
A bit of white
They
elephant.
were much more passive, and so it's no wonder then that when both sides were close to collapse,
Yeah, the
Rome
Romans
was
had,
one
yeah,
who
the Romans
figured
had
out
it.
how to go that little bit
The
further.
luck of the dumb.
In
Yeah, man, it is what it is,
241
man.
BC,
Fucking
the
amazing.
Carthaginian politicians sent word to Hamilcar Barca that he was on his own and could choose to make peace with the Romans if
Imagine the feeling of being in Sicily, having fought for so many years, and now you're forced to give up. Fuck, man. Fuck. That must suck so hard. Like having like pretty much your entire military career spent on this.
he wished. Hamilcar was stunned. He felt betrayed by the politicians. Some sources say he refused to even negotiate. Nevertheless, terms
is what the Russian generals are getting as mail from the
I'm glad
troops.
you Carthaginians have finally come to your senses and recognized who the true winner is. How many fleets did you lose? Okay, here are our terms. You leave Sicily to us and return all of our prisoners. You're not allowed to make war against Syracuse or her allies, and you have to pay us 2,200 talents of silver over the next 20 years.
I actually don't know how much. I don't know what a
Talent of
talent.
silver.
Yeah, I don't know
Well,
that.
To put it in perspective, in the year 2022, that'll be worth around, let's say, 40 million US dollars.
Oh, that's not that bad though, is it, man? For like an entire country, like 40 million. I think the US could probably like just like fucking like dry their fucking ass with it and then throw that money in the face of somebody. Literally, that's how little like the US probably cares about that little money.
Caramba! That will cripple us. Wow, we got a real smart guy over here. Yeah, that's kind of the point, you dingus.
Inflation hit different, damn straight, man.
I accept. Great. Oh, by the way, we changed our minds. You actually have to pay us 3,200 talents of silver over 10 years. Thanks for accepting. Dude!
That was literally just like it was like they already like fucking beat them the fuck up, hit them in the head. They're fucking like, oh, and then they just decided to. Why the fuck not? And then they took the fucking knife and stabbed him in his fucking throat. Like, what the fuck, man?
Hey, you didn't let me say uncool. You didn't let me say uncool.
The treaty.
I'm not sure we haven't even seen like
extremely
anything
punishing,
uncool
and
like
by
being said this
switching
entire
up the
video.
terms at
Because
the
I
last
of
minute,
course.
they enraged the Carthaginians. But still, one of the longest and deadliest wars at the time was finally over. The
Must have been at least 400,000 people. Must have, right? Well, 30% over 10 years is less than 2,200 for 20 years. Yeah, that's true. I don't want to sleep anymore. That's why I came back.
had won.
Oh, fuck, man.
They
The
achieved
fuck,
their
man.
aim of gaining
We'll come
Sicily.
back, we'll come back.
And even though it wasn't part of the peace deal, they took advantage of a
ay.
weakened Carthage and grabbed Corsica and Sardinia as well. Roman
Yeah, it's
expansion
again a
beyond
lot
the
of
Italian
schools as he
peninsula
used like
had
OverSimplified
just
now to actually
begun.
like learn about
The
Napoleon
Romans
and like
hoped
that.
now the Carthaginians
It's sad
would
that when I was
forever
in
be
the
under
high
their
school,
thumb.
like he didn't like the
Unfortunately,
Napoleon videos
the
weren't out
harsh
by then.
terms they placed on the
Oh yeah, they
Carthaginians
got
at
the
end
they got
of
the
the
island
war
there.
left a growing anger, one that would come back to haunt them. One day, Carthage will have its revenge. That's nice, dear.
Is that
I'm
Hannibal?
serious,
Tell me
woman.
that's Hannibal.
Maybe not in my lifetime, but perhaps in his. My beautiful son.
What the fuck are those? Look at those! What the fuck are those little things here, man? Ugh. Is there more things?
Carthage will have its revenge. That's nice.
Is that Drew? That's fucking Drew Donnell. The fuck? I love Drew, man. I love him, man. Like, what the fuck? And this video sort of reminds me of history of the entire world, I guess. Yeah.
Dear. I'm serious, woman.
It's trolls.
Maybe
What
not
do
in
you
my
mean that's
lifetime,
trolls?
But perhaps.
What did you watch out of that? Yeah,
my
this, unfortunately, man, I gotta end after this.
son.
But again,
You are born into a momentous.
everybody just join the Discord. Just like post the link in the like one of the channels, and I'll look at it tomorrow. We'll live tomorrow, the entire day probably, and then I'll watch whatever the fuck you guys want me to
Destiny.
watch.
You shall be Rome's greatest enemy.
The voice is really good.
You'll tear Rome limb from limb. You'll burn their pathetic city into the ground. You'll slaughter their people.
Damn
Men,
straight,
women, and children. My child.
Just
You-
just imagine this kid like with all these things over him. Like when he's gonna grow up, like there's so much expectation in this kid, man. Hope you will watch my shit after I come from home. Yeah, I probably will. But it's still making bangers in this day. Do not the women and the children too. No, not the women and the children too. Star Wars meme.
Vengeance! Stop telling our baby he's vengeance. But he is, Barbara. He's vengeance. That may be so someday, but for now, our son has a name, and you should call him.
It's actually
that
so wild how
instead.
much effort he pulled into
His
like that.
name
Him like the kid playing with
is-
the necklace. Hannibal, my god. The second computer was coming soon. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be fucking
Don't forget
lit,
to
bro.
play War Thunder now by
It's
clicking
gonna
my
be
link in the description.
fucking lit, bro. And that's pretty much it. Okay, man. My god, dude. This video was fucking amazing, man. Holy shit, dude. Holy fuck, man. Ay.